And I'll text you if you need it.
Read your name tags around this. So this is how the seats were always. I just.
You want to go over there? You want to go on that side?
You want to come over here?
Yep. Yeah, switch them out. We know you're
All right, resolution number 2.
Can't hear you.
Hello.
So you gotta hold on. Oh, it's good. Hold on. Hold on it. I might have to hire them on. So I'll get this.
Just What'd you say about it?
All right, resolution number 2, open session. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
I have head one.
Second.
I have motion by head one, seconded by Hall. Resolved that the Board of Education does hereby resume the meeting in open session at 6:11. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries 5 ayes, none opposed. The meeting of 6. No.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I didn't vote because I wasn't here when we
Oh, you
Put her in there.
Do you want to vote against open session?
No, I do.
Okay. Let's start. We'll do roll call. Roll call vote. How do you vote, Mr. Elgeheim?
Oh, here.
No, aye. Ms. Watson.
Aye.
Ms. Hall.
Aye.
Mr. Hedwin.
Aye.
Mr. Ferris. Oh, so close, Mr. Ferris. Miss Ayash, aye. Resolution passes 6 ayes, no nays, 1 absent. The meeting will now open at 6:11 p.m. Thank you, Ms. Beth. And resolution number 3.
Don't we have to adjourn this meeting?
Yep.
Resolution number
Yeah.
3.
Motion.
Meeting adjournment. Membered by Hedwin. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Ms. Hall. Motion by Hedwin, seconded by Hall. Resolved that the meeting be adjourned at 6:12 p.m. Roll call just to be safe. Elgeheim.
Here.
Watson.
Aye.
Hall.
Aye.
Hedwin. Ferris. Victor Ferris. Yes, and Ayash. Aye. Motion passes 6 ayes, 1 absent. Meeting adjourned. We're going to take a 10-minute recess and start our regular meeting. Thank you. I am very serious. 10 minutes. See y'all soon.
Don't start at 6:30.
Just wanted to say But you turn it down. 68, but it's so hot. 66. Listen. Put it out work. I turned 65. 70.
Oh, in the building.
So she's never said anything. Yeah. No, she's never.
All right.
So let's start with Alvin.
Yeah?
He's right here.
And now that I ask her. I don't know what she said.
Victor, up there, feel ready? All right, we're gonna call the meeting to order at 6:19 by Ms. Ayash. For those who participate, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Ms. Najee.
I pledge allegiance to the
flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right,
I would like to,
order.
Jihan, I would like to introduce a resolution, please.
We haven't even got there yet, honey. All right, roll call of members. Ayash, present. Head one.
President.
Hall.
Need a motion?
Oh,
present.
No, yeah. Watson.
Present.
Obeyed, absent. Elgahame.
Present.
Ferris.
Present.
All right, we have quorum. Resolution number 1, acceptance of agenda. Do we have a motion?
I would like to introduce the resolution.
Miss Watson, my dear, we have to motion first and then second, and then you can introduce them.
Sure.
Thank you. Do we have a motion?
A motion.
I heard Hall. Do I have a second? I have head one. Resolution number 1, acceptance of agenda. Motion by Hall, seconded by head one. Resolved that upon the recommendation of the super, the Board of Ed accepts and approves the agenda with any additions or deletions. Take it away, Miss Watson.
Thank you. From our meeting earlier this month, we opted to table the authorization of bank depositories and signatories.
Yes.
I feel like we've had enough time between that meeting and now that we can reintroduce that.
Sure. However, the new board members and current board members were not informed by Ms. Lyman why that rule was needed. So if board members are okay, we can move it for today, or we can still move it to the regular where we have official business. Board members.
Regular, please.
Regular? Okay, anyone else?
Regular.
Regular? Okay, Ms. Watson?
And I would also like to introduce a second resolution.
Sure.
I'd like to reintroduce meeting dates for the Board of Education for the year 2023.
Meeting dates, okay.
I would like to too.
We're going during adjournment for meeting dates?
Yes.
Okay, resolution, anyone else? Tabling or discussing it? No tabling, fine. Resolution for meeting dates. So that's the addition. Resolve upon the recommendation, approves the agenda with additions or deletions with the addition of meeting dates. Roll call vote. How do you vote? Head one.
Aye.
Hall.
Aye.
Watson.
Aye.
Gahane.
Aye.
Ferris. Ayash, aye. Motion passes 6 ayes, none absent. Miss Watson, in the future, it'd be great if you can present these in advance. Mr. Najee and I plan these agendas a week in advance. Thank you. So now, we're going to move into current committee structures. Mr. Najee,
Sure.
please introduce us to renew. The mics are not working though.
Good evening, testing. Yeah, they're not working.
They're not.
Good evening, everyone. So, it does?
I turned it off already.
6 ayes, no appeals.
Do you need a,
Oh, wait, before we jump into the audience participation,
yes, here.
Oh,
none related to the agenda, it'll come after. Okay. Let's go. Now current committee structure.
now in the spirit of going back to what our COW meetings were originally created for, discussion of committee items will be discussed. So today I'm going to give a breakdown of the committees that the board is going to be discussing during COW meetings, updates, making decisions, and then I'll go into committees that were formulated per the board request. So I'll just read through them one by one, but before I do that,
Yes.
did not want to forget, in recognition of Board Member Appreciation Month, you have the baskets in front of you from the school district, teachers, everyone else, staff that appreciate the commitment. You don't get big money for it. 2 days a month, which is a lot, long meetings.
Yeah.
And in addition, you have a certificate from MASA. MASB, thank you.
Mhm.
Recognizing your efforts, and we appreciate that. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Najee.
First committee is the Finance Committee. Discussions of financial matters in the district and/or those items that will greatly affect the finances of the district, i.e. establishing bank accounts, budgets, authorizing projects requiring bids, millages, receiving audit info, etc. Reports typically led by Ms. Sherry Lynham, Director of Finance. Building and sites, discussion of matters involving district properties, i.e. school buildings and upgrades, remodels, repairs and maintenance, bidding procedures, property purchases, etc. Reports typically led by Richard. Always have a tough time with your last name, sorry Rich. Director of Buildings and Grounds, often joined by Sherry Lynham, as it directly impacts funds, obviously. And those were one committee for a minute, the finance and building sites. But it was good to separate the two. Recreation, discussion of matters involving the recreation department, i.e. programming, funding, anything involving the parks, properties, like for those of you that are not familiar with what properties belong to Hamtramck Public Schools, Pulaski Park, Keyworth Stadium, HHS Community Center, reports typically led by Craig Daniels, our recreation director. School improvement, discussion of matters regarding student achievement, academic programming, testing mandates, curriculum materials, approval of books, etc. Reports typically led by Ms. Wadad Lukman, academic strategy specialist. Bylaws and policies. This one's a bit longer, but bear with me. Discussion and approval of board policies, board policy updates as per Neola. Neola submits updates twice a year in the winter and spring. Superintendent and administrative assistant meet with our Neola rep to discuss updates. Updates are shared with the board, typically requires 2 readings. First, to share the updates, discuss, formulate any questions, which will be shared with Neola rep. Second, the second reading involves final review of updates and adoption of any new/revised bylaws or policies. Our current Neola rep is Phil Mikulski. I hope I said that right. Did I get it right, Ms. Joanne? Yeah? Awesome. Adoption of any new revised bylaws or policies. Well, I already read that thing. So, but no, keep in mind, most Neola reps are retired school district administrators. The rep will and has met with the board when in-depth discussion is requested. So those are the fundamental board committees. Now, there were committees that were created and formulated per the board request, and of which are the Climate and Culture Committee being one, and I'll go into that. This committee was formulated at the request of the board to help with the district environment, instructional climate, how practices and procedures are perceived, increasing effective communication, etc. The goal is to increase engagement and promote positivity. Reports typically led by Wadad Lukman and Heather Derogi. And of course, there's other members in the committees, both these committees, and it's much appreciated. Hiring committee. This committee was also formulated at the request of the board to help with refining and or establishing hiring processes and procedures. The goal is to establish a system that is transparent, fair, and inclusive of key members while adhering to contracts, policies, and legal requirements. This committee is ready to report to the board at the February regular board meeting. We moved quick. Good job to that committee. Reports, oh, that's right, the next cow. Reports typically led by Anthony Kiner and Wadad Lukman. So those are the committees. And now, can I move on to the next section?
Yeah, take that.
All right. Reports by the superintendent. So today, 2 new board members, welcome you, and current board members. I know we might have 1 or 2 new administrators that will introduce themselves, speak about their schools, and so on and so forth. So we'll begin with early childhood elementary principal Vicki Smith.
Well, it's serving me for life, I guess. That's all right. I can't break it. That's okay. Sorry.
Just forming our line.
We're here, get ready. Good evening, board members. I'm happy to be here and see all of you. I just want to say that ECE, I'm the principal, Vicki Smith, and that we have survived this year so far and continue to make growth, which I'm excited about. We still do not have special ed teachers. We still have a lot of kids who aren't tested yet, but our staff has continued to persevere, and to make a difference for these kids and embrace and love all the children at our school. Points of pride. We have been doing the hydroponic garden. We grew lettuce and tomatoes. Kids loved it. I told you it was just going to be that this year. And then we also did the school improvement grant from last year outside for school beautification, and the community is very happy with what they see that we've done. We planted plants and put a bird bath out there, which is a little cold for that right now, but that's what we did. And we also are starting an Arabic club for our students to learn Arabic. We're going to implementing our STEAM club, which we had already talked about, because you know how I feel about STEAM for our students, and also a Bangla club. We also purchased some devices so that we are inclusive as a school, so when our parents come, we have an interpreter, they can put the device on, and everybody gets to participate with access. We are continuing to make growth. We're going to go on field trips. We're going to purchase, this is if it's all approved, right? And we're going to purchase 90 Chromebooks that are touchscreen for our kids at school so they continue to have access to technology, because asking pre-K through second to bring a laptop back and forth is very problematic, because they can't even carry a water bottle back and forth down the hallway, so we don't want to do that. I just want to say I love this school and the community, and that I'm very, very thankful to be the principal there. Thank you.
Next up,
Problem solving.
well, Dickinson West Principal, Elementary.
Okay, we're well represented. All my favorite teachers and my favorite teachers watching on live stream. Yes, because all of them are my favorite. I'm Joy Danforth. I'm the principal of Dickinson West Elementary School. And this is my 4th year here, but I am a lifelong member of this community as I graduated from Hamtramck High School in 1997. And my family still lives here. We still own property in this district. This is my home. And I'm so happy and blessed and honored to serve here in this great district. Dickinson West, I just want to say just a few points of pride. Though we are on the priority list, it doesn't scare us. We're not sweating that because we've made growth. We were able to, even during a pandemic, our index score grew by 6 points, which we were only one of 2 buildings in the district that were able to grow. And so we're still a part of that great work, and I want to be a part of that great work of not only growing Dickinson West and getting us off the list, but keeping the rest of the schools off the list and coordinating our efforts as a district to make sure that we don't get on that list again, because all of our students deserve equitable education, the right to the same access. Every building should have access to the same things. So we're working toward those things. A couple of other points of pride is that we are a green school, and that was headed up by Jennifer Bradley, our 5th grade teacher, where we get some grant money we're going to have raised garden beds, or we're going to do perennials this year, and then maybe expand to some produce, but we want to make sure we house it properly, and the cats and whatever don't get to us. So right now we're just going to work on perennials, and we're going to raise them for the community members. And then also, we're implementing for our 6th grade our benchmark cafe, meaning that we're moving toward making sure that our kids are demonstrating mastery, getting them ready for KMS, right? Because we don't want them to keep going over there and feeling lost. And so 6th grade is technically middle school, even though it's housed on the elementary school side. So we're trying to build in that student accountability. So Benchmark Cafe is kind of the concept of building in that student accountability, that you advocate for yourself. If you failed a test, if you didn't do so well on a homework assignment, you get to go to the teacher and arrange for not just a retake, but you get reteach before you get the retake. So the teachers are making themselves available, some of them volunteering during their lunch hours, their prep hours, after school, those types of things where the kids get an opportunity for reteach and then retake, because there's no point in retaking a test that you failed the first time without getting some reteach, right? And so we're working on that. Parent support is up. We have some parent volunteers in our building every week. I want to shout out just a few of them. Kimberly Kennedy, she's in our building. She has a 1st grader and a kindergartner in our building. She's in there helping with office things, helping around, just anything. If she just likes to deliver coffee to parents, paper, whatever she can, to teachers, whatever she can do to help in the building. Also, Kayla Kilgis, she has a student in our building, and she was working there so much, we ended up saying, do you want to be a lunch aide? Because like, you're here every day. And so she had took on a job from us. And then I want to really make sure that I shout out Renee Jones. She's actually on the KMS side, but this is the great community we serve, right? She and her son, Jameer, they bought Christmas for a family at Dickinson West, even though he's on the KMS side now. And when I tell you they bought Christmas, they didn't just buy clothes and toys, they bought food. And I mean, she grocery shopped like it was for her house, like shrimp and steak. And I was like, oh wow, you know. So it was really amazing to see what these parents do. Also, my teachers, they have been going on PDs on their own, above and beyond what we provide as a district. They have been going. So Tiffany Stano, Alexis Lambden, Natasha Rondeau, Renee Scott, Maxwell Spade, Derek Jones, John Kupiak, and Maria Capilla, they have been taking the initiative to go out and learn more. And so I just want to shout them out. And that's it. That's all I got to say.
I have a question.
Oh, yes. Are you sure?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
Is there a reason that they have to go out on their own for these PDs? Are we not offering them?
So, great question. Some of these things are funded by us, so it's beyond what we do on our regular full-day PDs, right?
Right.
So we provide PD throughout the year on our full-day scheduled PDs, but there are some things that our teachers are interested in where they see student needs,
Right.
where they want to go. So like, for instance, Maria Capilla, we don't have, and this is a state issue statewide, where it's like social studies curriculum is always very loose because they keep changing the standards.
Right.
And so we always have a lack of social studies curricular materials. Well, she decided to go and enroll in epic history. Maria Capilla, can you stand up, please? She decided to go and to enroll. It's a 3-year program because she just wants more resources for her kids. It is over and above what the district expects of her, but she's doing what's best for her kids. It's a 3-year program, and they're going to send her to Washington after the 3-year program is up for a different conference. So these are things above what the district already offers, and some of this the district pays for, some free things that they found. So.
Is there something more the district can do to help make this easier and accessible to you guys?
So, yes, so we have been working with Ms. Luckman and Mr. Nagy to work on differentiating the PDs, just like we differentiate instruction for children. We need to differentiate PDs for staff members because they come in and some of them are babies in this, and some of them are well-seasoned and they have a lot of wealth of knowledge. So some of the knowledge is right here in this room.
Right.
We can fly them all over the country, but some of the knowledge, we have great knowledge right here in this room. But for people who need a little bit more or something different, we're working on differentiating those PDs, and we've been working with Heather and Widad and also Mr. Nagy on approving some of those things so that those building times, when we have those like early release or those half Fridays, that it's more building discretion to pinpoint what our building teachers need and make it a little bit more differentiated. And that is what we're working on. It's a long-term plan though. Okay.
We see you soon, hopefully.
Thank you.
Okay, that's all I got.
Thank you.
Next up, Alveda Principal Kimberly Winarski.
Good evening, I'm Kimberly Winarski, Principal at Taubeda School. First recognizing, thank you for all of your efforts and your time dedicating to our community, students, teachers, and staff, so we appreciate you. My points of pride, I'm going to focus on a few different areas, beginning with increasing student opportunities at Taubeda. Our 5-year anniversary is approaching towards the end of this month for being open. So 5 years to Taubeda, this is my 4th year being able to serve them. So student opportunities. This year we were able to budget for after-school tutoring, focusing on reading and math. Support, so it is not a homework club, but we are trying to identify deficits within the building to strengthen them across the grade levels. We are implementing, starting tomorrow, a STEAM or STEM after-school activity that will go on for 2 weeks. So we actually have an organization coming into our building to offer these opportunities. We had boys soccer team earlier this year in conjunction with KMS. We are launching a junior special agent classes for our 5th graders from the FBI that will focus on bullying and cyberbullying, internet safety, and including gun safety. Those are just a few things to mention. We are going into middle school to discuss with the FBI safe online surfing. Think before you post school threats, so our students are aware of what is the consequence, because that is a heightened awareness across the nation. Career Day will be established for our 8th graders this year, incorporating several different community members as well coming in, showing our students what is beyond their norm, what is able to be accomplished and achieved. And then also our students have traveled on religious diverse journeys, learning more about different religions that are besides what they're accustomed to seeing and used to. I will be meeting with representatives for a bike repair station that haven't already installed across some of our buildings in the district, and also becoming a pollinator habitat for birds. We have a lot of open roof space that we'd love to take advantage of. Next thing we focused on this year was parent engagement as a building, getting the parents into the know. Where are we at with data and how do they become more involved in their child's education, because it really does start at home. So I've done monthly meetings. I call them Coffee with Principal Winarski. We welcome all families. I want to just recognize a few parents that have been consistent from day one. Aklima Bingham, Abdul Malik Al-Gahim, Selena Muntakim, and Fatima Bingham. Those parents have shown up every single month, dedicating their time to me to discuss where are we at with data, what are we using our money and budget for, asking for their input, and of course continued participation in our school. We are building our parent chaperones, getting background checks. They are now attending our field trips. So we are offering those experiences as well for parents. It's one thing we've never seen at Tau Beta either. So building those relationships. We started a dedicated dudes group trying to build male mentorships for our middle school students to help with behavior and also the experiences in building those relationships beyond the home with men in the community. I'm working with Hiba Mesto to work with Mango. So for every child that we serve, they are allowed 5 family profiles to learn the English language. So I'm very excited to take advantage of that. One of the most communicative feedback points from parents is more translation. We need more translation. More translation will lead to more parent participation and engagement in our buildings. And so that's what we look forward to do. Staff. Staff is amazing at Tau Beta. In conjunction with the PDs, that they're going above and beyond to attend. Out of 12 of my staff members who, there's not 12 only, but those that primarily work with the students in small groups or in tier 1 in the classroom, 6 of them are getting SIOP training. So SIOP training focuses on best practices in the classroom. It reaches all students. They have taken it upon themselves to use these strategies and to become better with their talents, to implement them in their lessons so we can continue with our student growth and achievement. We meet weekly this year for building PLCs, focusing on instructional opportunities, working with our district coach, Justina Bushery, and also we analyze student data and focus on our new MTSS handbook, and we've unraveled that since September. Just a few highlights for data. It doesn't seem like much, but we're on the upward trend and we continue to grow with this. 9% of our students, which is 28 students of the building, were proficient or advanced in M-STEP, which was a huge increase from pre-COVID numbers. And also 12 of our students exited WIDA, which was the highest in the district. And we look forward to many more this year. As a school, we have transitioned a growth mindset, not only in our teachers, but in our students and parents as well. Students are taking accountability for their learning. I've never, in my entire history of being in education, and I've been in Hamtramck since I graduated from Eastern Michigan for my teaching degree, I've never had a student be able to come to me and say, I reached my stretch growth, Ms. Winarski, and I say, what does that mean? It's not just a number anymore. It's realizing I know there's work to do, I have to work hard, and we're all here for the sole purpose of it. And these middle schoolers are taking advantage of that. They are proud to say, you know what, I know I'm a year behind, but Ms. Winarski, I'm closing my gap and I'm gonna be ready for middle school. And it's wholesome, it's humbling. And we were able to provide our middle school a transition this year, going to their different cohorts and their content teachers, which will also prepare them for high school. Guys, this is just the floor. Tau Beta has not yet reached their capacity, and I'm excited to continue to lead them in that direction.
Thank you.
Thank you. He's up in the line.
I can see. DE, right?
Yeah. So Dickinson East Elementary, we have Dr. Afreen Alavi.
All of the above.
No, but what's the correct way to say it? Alvi? Okay, so sorry about that. Christy Taylor, and Miss Christy Taylor.
Is there another chair for Christy?
Oh,
I'm good.
Okay.
Before you start, I just wanted to say, I was hoping that you would have came to previous meetings because I honestly wanted to thank you because I've been fighting for a student and teacher handbook for the longest, and I heard you took the initiative and you had a great team that made it happen. And so I just really wanted to show you that we appreciate it as a board, as a district, because now we have something to go by versus not having anything at all. So thank you for taking that initiative. It means a lot.
It takes a team.
It takes a team.
And passion. So I'm Afreen Alvi, principal of Dickinson East.
I'm Christy Taylor, the assistant principal.
Yeah, we were gonna just back and forth, but it didn't work out, and I can't top any of the things that they said back there. So first of all, I want to talk about our family involvement. We have coffee with the principal every month, and parents have been coming in, sharing their concerns, have questions. We have a variety of topics that we covered. We're having one tomorrow. We're gonna talk about WIDA. We're gonna talk about attendance, report cards, so just topics that we need to cover regularly. Student participation. So we've been doing several things to get all our kids on board. We've hosted holiday parades where we walk around the neighborhood, and we've brought in the police department, the fire department, and on the side parents have watched as well. Our biggest event so far has been the gift giving event where Walled Lake Central, and they don't want to be recognized, but I'm putting it out there so you can put in your minutes, Ms. Joanne. Walled Lake Central reached out and they brought, it was a 2-month process, but they took every child in our building and brought them gifts, and it was the wants and needs. So the kids made a list, they had no clue what was going on. They put that list together, we gave them off to the committee from Walled Lake Central, and the kids got big, huge boxes, and within those boxes there were gift wraps from little things like yo-yos all the way to jackets, and we got bikes, and we got, you name it, the kids got it. So it was a very, very special event that day. So almost 600 kids received presents. The staff was recognized with a breakfast. We all also got our gift bags with some goodies in there. So, you know, we had an amazing day that time. We are also the recipient of a donation from a former student who left us when he was in 4th grade, and he is in his 40s now, so it's been a long time. He reached out because he brought his kids, he lives in Texas, he brought his kids to show them the school that he was at, and he said he's done very well for himself, so he's given us $20,000 to do what we want with it. And he had called and asked what did we need, and if I'd known he was going to get that much, I would have asked for more, but I went, very humbly, I said, well, we find field trips, assemblies, and whatnot, so when he calculated it himself and came down with that, he is also, and they don't know it yet, but he's also working on trying to get us a new playground.
Wow.
I don't know the timeline, but it's in the universe now. We're working on it with Maloney. We're working on it. Our academics, we also had quite a bit of carryover from our title fund, so we are investing in touchscreen Chromebooks for the entire school that will stay in the building. So every student so every classroom is going to get a set, including a couple of extra sets. We're also investing in headphones, which are going to stay in the building, so the kids aren't transporting them back and forth. So we were able to do that with our carryover fund because now we're able to use some of that $20,000 for field trips. We are also, so within our academics, we have guided reading, we have small group instruction, we've got an amazing, phenomenal team, some of who are back there. Please raise your hand so you can be acknowledged as well. We have an amazing team that works hard. They're in early. They put in every minute of the day into their kids, which is commendable. I'm so proud of the team we have. For safety, we are working on PBIS as a district as well as our school. We are looking for behavior interventionists, but between the two of us, we've got those kids handled. Let's see what else. I think that's it for now.
Thank you.
Next up is Thomas Talmadge, or Tom Talmadge, from Holbrook Elementary. And round of applause.
Hello, good evening, welcome, new members. You probably would know me by Mr. T. If you talk to a student, no one calls me Mr. Talmadge, but Mr. T is what most of them call me. I feel like a student right now who is last called and all the good answers have already been given. So to not be repetitive, I'll try to keep it very brief. We've got a couple initiatives going that I wanted to talk about. One is the Wonderful Kid Wednesday. The district bought book machines for all the buildings. So every Wednesday I go around and I distribute the gold coin to all the teachers, and the staff is then allowed to pick a kid that they see being wonderful throughout the day. I thought it'd be a flop, but it's been a huge hit. The kids are super excited and super happy to come up to the book machine. A lot of them never used a vending machine before, so they don't have any idea, but one initiative we started just to focus on the positive that the kids really like. We are iReady testing, which a lot of people mentioned. 50% of our school already met their annual growth, which was what Mr. Winarski and Ms. Danforth were talking about. We're looking at the stretch growth. And just to recognize a couple of teachers, Mr. Vincent and Mr. Schneider, and then Ms. Congrua and Ms. Hassan, their students have, 20% of their students have made their stretch goals. So that's something we're really excited about. And that's,
I love it.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. Who's next in line?
Miss her.
Miss Kristen Err, Kosciuszko Middle School. Give a round of applause, please.
This is on. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
I feel like I'm talking super close to it.
You have to.
Very nice to meet the new board members and see all our old familiar faces. Kristen Hurt, principal at Kosciuszko Middle School. I've been in the district about 25 years. I started at, I was going to say Kosciuszko, but I actually started at Holbrook as the permanent building sub. Then to Kosciuszko as a teacher, Kosciuszko as a counselor, Hamtramck High School as a counselor, Horizon High School as the principal and the director of adult ed, and now back at Kosciuszko principal. So no matter what building I did, I love every building and all the kids and all the families, but back home now. So second year back, we're doing some amazing things. It's a great staff. The kids are wonderful. One of our focuses is to really strengthen our climate and culture and just make it the best place to be at. One of the things we just instituted was our Cougar Bucks. So when kids are getting caught doing something good, they get some Cougar cash. And just like Tom thinking, it's middle school, is this going to go over well? It is such a hit. So you would not believe how many kids we have trying to take garbage out after lunch because they want to earn those Cougar Bucks. So that's one of the initiatives that we're working on. I know when I come back in front of the board, we're going to go over data and some other things. I just want to keep it short and sweet. So
Love it. Thank you.
Mr. Noah Vezai, Horizon High School.
Good evening. I see some familiar faces, but you guys have aged a little bit.
Just a little.
A couple of you were in my class when I was, so for you where you are now, I got to take some of the credit. I must have done some good to have you reach this goal. So I've been around for a long time here at Hamtramck. Last year I was reassigned to Horizon after a long period as a middle school teacher. I was reassigned to Horizon as the principal. And I soon discovered that Horizon, the students who attend Horizon, basically Horizon exists to serve the students whom the district would have otherwise lost. So let me explain that. Horizon is the alternative school in the district, is the alternative high school. How is the Horizon alternative? Basically, Horizon offers a small school experience. Right? It has specially trained teachers. We focus on relationship and social and emotional learning. We offer personalized daily schedule and a more flexible school day. And teachers provide students more freedom and choices in demonstrating their abilities. Horizon typically has about 120 students, which gives us a student to teacher ratio of about 16 to 1. Horizon teachers have developed partnerships with communities, including local institutions such as the public library, Wayne State University. We have, as a matter of fact, today we had 8 nursing students who came to visit our science class, and they will come back every month to talk to our students about health issues and everything else. They take a class at Wayne State University Public Health, so Dr. Williams had asked if she could come in and use our student as, teachers are trained in trauma-informed instruction. Individual teachers are trained in literacy instruction. They joined the National Writing Project. They're trained in SIAP, which is the Sheltered Instruction Observation Protocol. Quite a few of our teachers have, in addition to their certificates in their topic or subject matter, they also have the EL endorsement and mental health endorsement. Teachers are in frequent contact with students and families. A special seminar class, which is our first hour from 9 to 9:35, is dedicated to teachers and students communicating, okay? The emotional learning and support that takes place during seminar cannot be replaced. We have extra time built into our schools for this work. Students take classes based on the credits that they need and earn each quarter. Classes start later each day. Students have an open campus lunch, and we have Fridays, which allows students more flexibility and give teachers time to work with students and families. Teachers get to know new students through orientation and welcoming process when they enroll into school. Teachers provide students with choices when it comes to instruction and assessment, including flexible projects and accommodations for student needs. Now, who are these students who attend Horizon? Students who are at least 16 years old and will not graduate from Hamtramck High School on time for a variety of reasons. Emerging multilingual students who lack documentation or prior education experiences. Due to their age, these students will not graduate from HHS on time. And students who choose to attend Horizon for social or emotional reasons. So students who have tried and have not been successful in a traditional high school setting due to attendance, behavior, motivation, or academic struggle can find success at Horizon. We have a strong newcomer program which helps emerging multilingual students build language skills and find academic success. These students are recently arrived immigrants who lack educational documentation for high school credit, or who, due to their age, would not graduate from a traditional high school on time. Students are screened using WIDA and placed in an appropriate setting with an appropriate schedule. Some students may choose to attend Horizon for social or emotional reasons. Students who feel like they do not fit or struggle to build relationships in a larger school may find success and community at Horizon.
Thank you.
Dr. Martin, any question? Thank you.
I don't think this mic is working. So last but not least, Hamtramck High School, Dr. Ricardo Martin, Mr. Anthony Kleiner in the back, and Mr. Scott Johnson. So the 3 pillars of the high school.
Thank you. Cannot do this work without Anthony Kleiner. We cannot do this work without Scott Johnson, our counseling team, and all of our excellent teachers over at the high school. I'm Ricardo Martin, born and raised on the east side. I grew up just 2 miles from here. I tell the kids all the time, I worked at the Frank School on Joseph Campo. I had a paper route just outside of Hamtramck. We used to go to the old Washington Theater. My mother still has Hamtramck Furniture. It used to be a furniture store right there on Conant, off Kniff. and of course Compo clothing. Some of you guys probably remember that. I still have a few pair of old Compo clothing shoes in my closet. So just glad to be back at home, and I always feel so comfortable when I'm in a high school doing what I love to do and I'm passionate. Just a few points of pride. First, I'm really excited, and thank you for the board's blessing in advance for the hiring of a behavior interventionist. We can clap it up for that. And in February, we also just got an English teacher as well. And so this work is a result of a hiring team led by Mr. Kiner, in addition to Mr. Johnson, who has a great team that we've been pushing hard to make sure we grow our own. And speaking of growing our own, I need to shout out Dennis Foster. We call him DJ, of course. Clap it up for our coach basketball team. So one of the things about him is that he's going to be our new athletic director. Really excited about that. We're taking the interim off of his name, and he will continue in that role at a higher level. So we're really excited about that. Partnership-wise, I was just talking to Kim over at Tau Beta, and of course KMS. We want to keep our own students, and so on February 28th, about 21 kids from Tau Beta, another 200 kids from KMS will come over to the high school, where we will make sure that they go to Hamtramck High School instead of going to CAS or Global Prep or any of the other unknowns out there, because it's important that we make sure that we feed the kids right into the high school. And so we're glad about that partnership. We will circle back in May and do the same thing at that time. Our MCAN college advisor, we're looking to try to onboard them a little bit earlier, because this will give us more college access for our current seniors, and of course leading into the fall. And then finally, one of the big areas that we're working on is getting kids to own their own data. And so our career and technical education department is creating these buttons, and basically the administration will go around and ask students, what is your SAT practice score? What is your iReady score? And the students should be able to tell us what their score is based on the last iReady diagnostic and the most recent SAT practice test. So the goal, of course, is that if a student knows their data, if they know the areas that they need to improve on, they know what the areas that they're strong in, we can prescribe well educationally to ensure that our students are successful. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I just wanted to say, thank you all for coming to introduce yourselves to all of us, especially, with the new board members. Even some of the old board members really had no idea who's running what building, because we know the name, we don't know the face. So thank you for taking the time to come out and introduce yourselves, and now giving us a face to put with the name. I, for one, am a Hamtramck product, and I grew up here, and this is my city, my community, and I love it here. And I'm gonna do whatever I have to as a board member to make sure that the students' success is the #1 priority. We have great teachers here, we have great staff members, we have people that want to be here, people that care for our students, people that love our students and have the best intentions for our students. And we hope to continue to grow that. We need to start moving in the right direction, and I feel like with the board that we have right now, things will be moving forward, for the better, and the leadership, will get better, and everything, we want your guys' input. We want you guys to reach out if you feel like you want to reach out. Follow the chain of command, of course, but we're always open to hear your concerns or questions or comments. We want to make sure that our students are getting what they need and what they deserve. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, resolution number 2. Ms. Watson, what's the title? What's the language?
Okay, so we've tabled the bank depository, so we're going to go to Meeting dates of the Board of Education for the year of 2023. Motion?
Not yet, hang on.
Oh,
Meeting
okay.
dates of the Board of Ed for 2023. That's the title of resolution number 2. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
I heard head one. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Watson seconds. All right, what's the language?
Do you want to take a picture of it?
I'll read it. I mean, again,
Yeah.
just given in advance, we could have organized this.
Oh, it's just a reintroduction.
Still, etiquette would have been nice. Okay. Motion by Headwan, seconded by Watson. Resolved that the regular meetings of the Hamtramck Board of Ed for the year of 2023 will be held on the second Wednesday of each month at the admin office at 6:30 p.m. Further resolved that the Board of Ed will hold their committee of a whole on the fourth Wednesday of each month at the admin office at 6:30 p.m. Do we have discussion?
Yes, I support that, because like I've made it in my, I wish it was recorded, televised, but we've always had our meetings on Wednesdays. I've already requested every Wednesday off at work so I can be here present for the meetings, and I made that, clear. I did make it also clear that Mondays would be very hard for me to be at the meetings, but I'll do my best to do it because that is why I was elected, is to be here. But
Yeah.
we have to, really consider why we are changing our dates and times, especially now that we've given our employers, the dates and times and have gotten that approved, which I don't think they'll go back and approve Mondays off, especially at where I work. Mondays is the busiest days. So I do support that, and I hope, we can talk a little bit more about that. And I would like to get your guys' input as well, the newer board members, and see where we go from there.
Yeah, so to be honest, I wasn't sure why this was presented this way. I would have appreciated getting it advanced. But yeah, based on our last discussion, our last meeting, I think the new board members requested Mondays, and the administrators were also conveniently here on Mondays. So I think that's why it ended up passing, because we accounted for multiple voices. And that's just a recap for anyone else, and then discussion.
So I completely understand that we are a body, and if we have at least 3 people that cannot make Mondays, I think that's not a great thing moving forward. I mean, like Sal said, we were all elected to serve a role, and if we know going ahead that not all of us are going to be able to make it, how are we serving the community then? That's all.
Anyone else? Okay, anyone else?
I don't agree with 6:30 though. It needs to be early if we search today.
So you'd like to make an amendment to 6 o'clock?
Yeah, let's do 6.
I'm
Earlier
fine with
meeting.
6 if we
Yep,
can
I'm okay with
change it
6.
to Wednesday.
All right, new board members, how do you feel?
I'll accommodate.
We'll accommodate Wednesdays at 6?
You can't hear very well.
The mics are messed up, we're trying our best. Okay. All right, we will speak up.
Get down to
Yes.
6. If we can agree on 6 p.m. rather than 6:30.
Motion by Headwan, seconded by Watson, with the amendment of 6 p.m. for second and fourth Wednesdays. Is there any additional discussion?
Does it have,
What, say it again?
no, it's the
No.
same ones.
It's fine. Roll call vote, how do you vote, Headwan?
Aye.
Hall,
Aye.
Watson,
Aye.
Gahame,
Aye.
Ferris, Ayash, aye. Motion passes 6 ayes, none absent.
So, okay.
Sorry, 6 ayes, 1 absent. 1 absent. Please give this to Joanne.
Yeah, I'll take a picture of it.
Of course. All right, order. We're going to start audience participation. Whoever Scott is, please get another form and fill it out correctly. I'm going to move on to Max Spade. Max Spade, come on up.
I don't know if we heard that name.
Max Spade.
No, Scott. Scott.
Scott, whoever Scott is, please get another audience participation form and fill it out correctly. Thank you. And now Max Spade. Give me 1 second. I got the timer.
Good evening. Can you
Wait,
hear
sorry,
me?
1 second. Just as a
We
reminder
really
before
can't
we
hear you,
start.
so you gotta talk a little.
Oh, I got a teacher voice.
All right.
Love it. Okay, wait, before we get started, order. This portion of the agenda is for citizens to address any questions or concerns to the board. The board will listen, take comments and questions under advisement and not respond at this time. Providing officer will refer questions to superintendent for research and response. Max, take it away with your teacher voice.
I originally was going to comment on the change of date from Wednesdays, the second and fourth Wednesdays of each month. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry, I'll back up. My name is Max Spade, and I teach here at Hamtramck, at Holbrook, and at Dickinson West. I'm a music teacher. I'm also the Hamtramck Federation of Teachers treasurer. And I was originally going to comment on the movement of the meeting dates from the second and fourth Wednesday of each month to the Mondays of each month. I was curious as to how that happened. The last time that this board was in session, I left the room under the impression that that meetings were on Wednesdays, and it was a curious development that things got changed. We really appreciate the fact that we have some stability and some consistency in the way the board meets. It makes everybody's life easier. You have arranged your lives around these board meetings. Many of us have arranged our lives around these board meetings. And so we really appreciate you making this change. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, now Scott Dane. Scott Dane.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry about that.
No, it happens. It's fine.
Usually, what is writing read that out to?
My name is Scott, and I'm here on behalf of the Elder Brinkman Law Firm to serve Nabil Naji and the Hamtramck Public Schools with lawsuits filed against you. These were filed for discrimination against multiple female employees, harassment and retaliation based on sex, national origin, religion, and age, for lying to this community and hiding the pornographic books in the library, for retaliating against honest employees who begged you to stop violating laws that are designed to ensure that children with disabilities receive a free public education. Students with disabilities are being mistreated at Hamtramck Public Schools. This school district is in a shambles and needs to start following the law. No one is above the law. I have 6 complaints to serve on Nabil Naji and the school president on behalf of Hamtramck Public Schools.
Thank you. All right.
Mr. Naji, Madam President.
Thank you so much. All right.
Thank
Next
you for your
up,
patience.
Teresa Goodrich. All right.
Hello.
Hello.
I'll use my big teacher voice as well.
Thank you.
Never accused of being quiet. I originally think I put
concerned staff member.
Yeah, well, it's really about culture and climate. So I wrote my notes, I wouldn't think I was going to say. Hi, I'd like to welcome our new school board members. Thank you for joining. We're glad you're here. I know it's a big commitment as well. I'd also like to thank Mr. Nagy for everything he's done as interim superintendent.
If you're disrupting, you can get kicked out.
Hey,
just get ready to keep going.
I appreciate your dedication and transparency, Mr. Nagy. So I'd like to start by showing a little bit of my history with Hamtramck. This is my 25th year of teaching here. Until last year, I'd only taught elementary school. I love the kids, my coworkers, the community, and I don't really want to teach anywhere else. It's fantastic. But 2 years ago, I was a character witness for a colleague in a disciplinary case. And then shortly after that, I was shocked to get a phone call from our former HR director telling me that I was being moved to KMS. Even though I had no experience teaching middle school, no training, nothing. When I voiced my concern, she laughed it off and said she was going to put a red check mark next to my name to indicate that I wanted to stay at Dickinson East. I told her it sounded like I was in trouble, and she just kind of like, oh, whatever. The superintendent at that time was her direct supervisor. So I find it problematic that she allowed these forced reassignments to happen. You're at the top, you're responsible for what your subordinates do. And as you know, many teachers left the district after these reassignments. Several teachers told me that they left because they felt like if it could happen to me after 25 years, how were they going to be treated? People were afraid that the same thing was going to happen to them. Just last night, my husband said to me, "Are you sure you want to speak today? Tomorrow?" He said, "What if they take it out on you and try to move you again?" People should not be afraid to speak up at their jobs. Since then, I've come to really like being at KMS. Mrs. Hurd is fantastic. The other staff is great. I love seeing the kids that I had for 4th grade come into 8th grade now, and they're like, "Oh, Mrs. Goodrich!" Like, they're so glad to see me. Some of the boys have mustaches now. Their voices are different. It's great to see them. It's like, what
30
happened?
seconds.
Yes, so, but that being said, I don't want to see a repeat of the past practices that happened, or a mass exodus that followed afterwards. I'm hoping the school board conducts a legitimate superintendent search and keeps everything public and transparent. Thank you very much.
Miss Erie, it looks like, please refill it correctly.
Let me see.
I can't read that name, but it still needs to be filled first and last name. All right. Yeah.
Is it Miss Evie? Miss Evie?
Please fill out with first and last name, and then you can go next. After that, it's Tony Coral. Fill it out, and until then, Tony Coral, you're next.
So that again, your last name.
Yeah.
Is it coming after me?
Yeah, she's coming after you.
She's put her last name.
Oh, so she's gonna put her
Yeah,
name?
that's it.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you. Let's see. All right, Evie Barnes Lyons. Evie. Okay, Evie Barnes Lyons. All right, come on up.
All right. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My name is Miss Evie. I'm from Dickinson West, and I want you to know I am not a happy camper right now. We had a situation over at our school, and the powers that be in the special ed department, which I work for, dropped the ball on one of our babies. And then they put it back on Miss Steves to clean the mess up. And all I gotta say is, you all owe me, you owe Miss Steves, Miss Joy, my partner, and myself. Because the parents started the paperwork before she came here. Somehow or another, the ball got dropped. She was told before Christmas, okay, now the baby had a place to go. We come back from Christmas break, and they told Miss Steve to do the paperwork and give the baby the IEP. She did everything she was asked to do. And then you all dropped the ball, and you call Miss Steves and tell her to inform the parent that there's no place for this baby. I'm highly upset about this. Somebody over here dropped the ball. The mother should not have to be going through this because she started her paperwork before she came to Hamtramck. And if I sound like I'm a little, yeah, I am. And you owe the parent an apology. I don't know if it started from Risa, if it started here. But what happened with that baby and that parent should not have been allowed to happen. Somebody needs to fix this. And then when Miss Steves calls, texts, and you ignore her, and you don't respond, you're wrong as two left shoes. I don't care how you're wrong. That baby should be in a self-contained classroom. Mom let you know before we got the baby should have been in a self-contained classroom. So I don't know if it was Risa, if it was over here. But it's like when we call you all, somebody needs to answer the phone. Somebody should have enough respect to call us back. And then you're gonna put it back in her lap? That's unacceptable. And another thing, that PD, that was a joke also. Whoa, hold up. Why was it that my partner and I spent the better part of an hour and a half trying to get into the PD? And like I tell my co-workers, if my partner can't do it, can't nobody do it. And then we go into another one.
Time, thank you.
You gonna cut me off time?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you,
fine.
Ms. Evie.
But y'all need to give us an apology for what y'all
Thank
did
you.
that
Next
day.
one, Tony
My name is Tony Coral, President of Hamtramck Federation of Teachers. Regardless of how the staff feels, those may not be the exact words of the school board president from the January 4th meeting, but certainly an accurate reading of the sentiment. I would have used an exact quote, but the recording of the 4th meeting has disappeared from the internet. Why would the school board president and board allies dismiss concerns of district employees about an important issue? An issue as important as who's leading the district. This is our lives, and we are deeply impacted by the choices the board makes. Why would the board president and board allies express such apathy in the midst of a nationwide teacher shortage that will be with us for many more years? When people leave because of hostile attitudes from elected officials, we will struggle to fill those vacancies, hurting students. Why would the board president and board allies be so cavalier about the fact that staff does not want to be subjected to retaliatory, involuntary transfers clearly aimed at educators who stood up for themselves and others? Why would the school board president and board allies essentially tell district employees that you, don't care about us? Do you not remember the fall of 2021 when Sandy Kospati sat here tearfully and told the world that the district leadership was making decisions not in the best interest of students? Do you not remember the fall of 2021 when Sarah Filipiak sat here and told you how decisions made by district leadership at the time sent Dickinson East into a near fatal tailspin? Do you not remember the fall of 2021 when several other educators sat here and told you that they were leaving because they were not going to sit around and wait for retaliation to eventually swing their way? Do you not remember the 23 resignations from September and October of 2021? I just read an article this morning in which the author wrote that when educators speak out, we are not waving, we are drowning. My final question for you tonight: which board members will reach out to a drowning staff to help, and which board members will attach rocks to our feet?
All right, additional board discussion, 10 minutes.
Yes.
Go ahead.
I've mentioned before that we need a better mic and sound system and all that, and I think that needs to be done sooner rather than later. So could you please put that on the next agenda?
Do you guys know if it's these actual mics?
It's
or-
not even. We just need better equipment.
If we have all this ESSER money that
Right,
we
we
keep
have-
talking about, like, we have all these funds coming in, can't we reallocate something in the general fund to
We can.
make upgrades?
These were replaced, so maybe they need, I'm not a technician.
Follow-up,
And then
Yeah.
every individual board member should have their own mic, because it's sharing it throughout the board meeting is not appropriate.
Should be attached to him or her.
Oh, I don't want
If you guys need to take our technology needs to reach out to other districts that are doing it right, please have them do that, because we need this situation. And also, the cameras, there should also be one for the audience to be visible. We should have more than just a webcam to just, keep track of our meetings and have that. And is our YouTube channel finally Hamtramck Public School owned, or is it still under Mark?
Yeah, public, Hamtramck
Okay.
Public Schools.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All right. Resolution number 3 now, meeting adjournment. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
I have Hedwan. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I heard Watson. Resolved that the regular meeting be adjourned at 7:24 p.m. How do you vote, Hedwan?
Aye.
Hall. Watson.
Aye.
Geheim.
Aye.
Ferris. Ayash, aye. Motion passes 6 ayes, 1 absent. Thank you so much. All right. Joanne, what did Watson get?
And if-
601. 601. 601. No, any